Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Tyranny. Yes indeed, here we are outside of the Sentinel Stand fortification, where Stratus Herodin has holed himself up like a cornered animal. And we are now waiting to enter to take him down. And take him down we shall in a second. So I've leveled up the characters, and I also noticed that we can actually equip the Steadfast insignia with Calvinus, so she's now got a massive +3 to her resolve, Regent's Pride, and a new ability called Steadfast Stand, which basically gives us extra resistance to being knocked back and prone, extra resolve for our nearby allies, all very good stuff. So yeah, looking to utilise that potentially in the upcoming fight. Could be a tough one. But we'll try it without any buffs to start with, other than our own abilities, and then if we don't do it, we'll then start to consider using potions and lotions. Okay. And this music is just so fantastic. I really do like it. It's simple, but fantastic. It just set the scene. You know, if we take down the Regent, it's almost like a foreboding, somber track to mark his demise. Rightly so. The demise part, of course. Okay, we have got here Demetrius, a lone disfavoured soldier surrounded by the regents and his lackeys. A very brave man. We'll give him that much. I've been waiting a long time to finish what we started, Regent. You've sat with your cowardice and shame long enough, haven't you? He draws his weapon. If you beg me for death, I'll make it painless. And here the disfavoured go on about the honour and glory of war. They're just principled butchers like the rest of us. I don't deny that we take satisfaction from our work, but it's never anything beyond that. Work. If you want to see me on my knees, you'll have to prop up my corpse for the delight of your inbred cohorts. But don't speak to me of cowardice and bravery. The disfavoured needed Kairos' arcana to prevail in the end. I'm sure that an army of lice-bitten rats could have succeeded with those odds on their side. You took a legion hostage and didn't have the nerve to meet us on the field of battle. Coward. I will earn Ash's favour when I bring him your head, and no one in Stalwart will weep for your demise. So, the Fatebinder joins the fray. You must not like your odds if you brought so much backup. Your timing is impeccable, Fatebinder. Let's put down this sick dog together. Yes, I don't believe we have been introduced, but now is not the time for a nice light-hearted chat around the campfire. But we have done this before. We have, we're all about, taking down those who need to be taken down. We have spared the minions previously, and we would have no qualms doing so again. They'll easily fall in line once their leader has been slain, of course. Asking for him to surrender Emilia, perhaps for a shred of mercy to his fellow soldiers. But no mercy to you, Regent. I'm finished compromising with you imperial dogs. If you want the keep so badly, come and take it from me. I have more than a few years under my belt, but I've spent most of them training for this day. We must really have closed you into a corner. I've never seen you bare your fangs like this. Good. I needed a challenge today. Okay, so we have a little bit of assistance here, but nonetheless it's still 7 enemy that we have to face. Quite the challenge, but nonetheless let's go into it with a great embrace. Let's do this. Who's this? Oh, Right, we need to. We're going to need to give Barrick some little bit of backup here. So first of all, starting with the buffs for him, starting with Favor of the Fatebinder. Then we shall also go with moving up a bit closer, giving us this extra little bit of damage with this one, which is Will of Command. Okay, excellent. And we're a little bit, shall we say, in the line of fire, but nevertheless. Then we'll go with the Energy Shield for Barrick to finish off the buffing. And then we shall escape this little situation, which is rather irksome. Right, okay, Verse is going to have to switch to that. Barrick is still suffering a little bit, but now we shall use our False Pit. Hopefully get some people down on the floor. Okay, and then start doing some AoE stuff. Barrick, heal.
This isn't working. Squirrel, bastard, are you?
So get people down as quickly as we can here. Entry. Okay, False Pit again.
No, leave until you're dead. Damn
False Pit working wonders, and we're in the line of fire again.
thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Another disengagement penalty, but that's not a problem at all here. Okay. Right, what combo abilities do we have left here? We've got Iron Storm. Okay, we're not doing too badly. I mean, she's looking a little bit peaky. We can do that. And then we'll go with perhaps a little bit closer. And a little bit of Unravel Minds, I think.
Time to change.
That worked nice. And another False Pit, I think. That also working. Semi-decently. And then another one of them. Okay, and then another one of them. And a heal. What is this stupid cow doing? Who does she think she is?
Will do.
Oh, bit of mano a mano. Right, let's give her flesh to stone. Put her out of action. Oh, she fell. I think we've got this.
Squirrel, bastard, aren't you? This isn't working. This is useless. I should try something else.
More heals.
My wisdom is
Oh, the fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Come on. Right, now we can hopefully give a bit of a helping hand to Verse, who is taking on a big guy on her own with her blades. Not ideal. And nonetheless, it's where we find ourselves here. False Pit could help that situation. She can disengage.
Always have this much blood.
There you go. Disengage with D. And switch weapons back to the old bow. Don't mind. Let's finish this off.
is useless.
Unravel Minds. We should hit both of those. Come on, we want to get the killing blow here. I think we got him. Nice. Worked out pretty well. The Regent lies on the ground, bloodied and defeated. He extends his good arm and drops his weapon. If only I had the breath to spend defying you. But I fear the fight has left me. What a moment to witness! The last of the stalwart defenders shattering under the disfavoured boot. He kicks Herodin in the head. Oh, but does stop himself. I'll give you the honours. Let's kill this wretch and put an end to the edict at last. Oh! Well, we knew something fishy was going on, didn't we, about Amelia? One of Stratus's soldiers moves between you and Herodin, tearing off her helmet. I won't let you do this. It's, Ash's daughter. Amelia? Is that you? Dimitri's weapon nearly falls from his hand as he salutes. Salute. She's obviously turncoated here. I hardly recognized you. Why are you fighting with the Regent's personal guard? Yes. What on earth is the meaning of this? Calvina asking. Probably not completely shocked. Before you get sanctimonious about why I'm here, take a good hard look at what you've done. She takes a concerned inventory of Stratus's injuries. I am not the northern warlord I once was. Sitting out the conflict made me see this conquest from a different perspective. We were wrong. Kairos led us from the right path centuries ago. We marched south to finish the Overlord's work, but... She squeezes her eyes shut. Don't you see that the tears are the last chance for us to make this right? Amelia, you don't have to say anything further. I think she does. Asking what happened. This is no time for a story. Not while we have our blades pointed at each other. If any of us survive this, which I suspect isn't likely, I'll tell you everything. But right now, you need to stand down and back away from the Regent. Interesting. No, I shall ask you again. Why are you fighting for Stalwart? Because Stalwart has a fighting chance at winning back their independence. Because we invaded this realm on the mad whims of a tyrant. Because of many reasons. Well, all these options are pretty much condemning her to some degree. But we are about the law, and fighting for the Regent is treason. In my book. In anybody's book. By whose definition of the word? Not yours, I'm sure. No, you and the rest of the Fatebinders are nothing but mouthpieces for Kairos' law, a system you barely understand, and my father kills to defend. My father... I love my father, but it is nothing compared to the love I felt for the father of... Amelia, please, be silent. It's over. You understand? I'm dying. Save your strength for more important things. He turns to you with a resolved expression, and you know he's almost lost too much blood to maintain it. I am the last of the Regents. If you mean to end the Edict of Storms, then accept my fate. Should we let him kill himself? He's dying anyway. To be fair, the mantra here has always been, you have one chance, and he has not surrendered. He has put up a fight, put up a fuss. We shall carry through what we have set out to do. Although probably not proclaiming an apology, but nonetheless, we have work to do, work to finish. Far to the north, it's time to strike back at these southern ingrates. Before you can take action, you catch Amelia begin to raise her weapon from the corner of your eye. Amelia, stop! You have to keep your promise. Remember? The focused, determined air about Amelia falls to resignation. She delivers a curt nod and leaves the room, darting you a killing look on her way out. Oh dear. Amelia disappears into another room, unwilling to watch what you're about to unfold. Kill the Regent, Fateminder! Let's put this shameful chapter of the conquest behind us, along with the Edict of Storms. You should be proud, Regent. In death, you'll accomplish more than you ever did in life. You'll excuse me if I disagree, you northern pig. We're beyond words. You take up a fallen sword from the floor and drive it through Stratus Herodin's heart, killing him instantly. Stratus' body falls to the ground and you watch the blood pool onto the floor in silence. There is a feeling of anticipation in the air, but as the seconds pass, it never materializes into anything. The surge of arcane energy and sense of relief you experienced in Ascension Hall is missing. You hear the howl of the storm outside and realize that the edict endures. Dear. This has got something to do with Amelia. I think she needs to die as well. The last of the regents is dead. And yet Kairos' storm continues. What could we have possibly missed? From across the hall you hear a faint cry. A baby's cry, and a realization dawns on you. Oh, hellfire. Her and Amelia have had a baby? Her and Amelia? Him and Amelia? A trial of Archons. Addendum added. What the hell's happening here? Making a stand. Amelia's child. Oh, kill a baby. Jesus. Faithful promise. Is this a shield? This is a shield. How good a shield is it? It's a nice shield. No, really not, it's not the time to be looking at shields, I feel, but hey, here we are. An extra 6 parry, an extra 6 dodge, an extra 6 endurance, slightly slower recovery. This does have 2 other additional bonuses, extra, yeah, even more recovery time and increased movement. Increased movement speed, not so happy, not so interested in, but the recovery and the recovery combined, is it? But he's a tank, so I suppose recovery. He doesn't use many abilities. He's not really about dealing damage, he's about soaking damage, so this is probably better for his purpose. Quite the mishmash of a collection he's gathering here. Okay!
Will do.
An unbroken bloodline that has endured for 500 years and effectively, well, we're about to end it.
I got it.
Or are we? Oh, ooh, hidden goodies. Oh, drug recipe, sigil of staggering force, sigil of the volleys. More sigils. What is this? So sigil of accent that allows spells to interrupt, and then we've got that one. Sigil of volleys. Accent increases the number of projectiles filed. More projectiles. Holy cow. I like the sound of that. Anyway. What's going on here? She's taken the baby, surely. Oh no, that is Amelia. Oh, she's put her disfavored stuff on. Blocking the doorway, Amelia regards you with eyes that brim with tears, yet blaze with hints of her father's grim resolve. She has armoured herself in disfavoured raiment to face you down. Stay away from my daughter. You will not have her. Oh no. Oh, by the Archon's mercy, don't let this be so. How is this possible? Well, the birds and the bees, Calvina. The birds and the bees. Your daughter, I take it, is the regent heir? Now that you've killed Stratus Herodin, she is. She has nothing to do with Kairos or the edict. You have no right to judge her on the basis of blood. Did you know this would prolong the edict? We suspected that the bloodline would implicate my baby in Kairos' eyes, but I knew nothing for certain until this moment. Don't ask me to interpret the Overlord's heartless design. I have no love for this edict, if that's what you're asking. It's torn a noble realm to pieces, fractured the pillar of their culture, and ruined countless lives. But I have a responsibility to the people of Stalwart to preserve their heritage and leadership. My father and the other Archons destroyed this nation. She and I... we can help put it together. What a naive notion. I had thought better of you, but this shows nothing but contempt for all that is favoured, accomplished, and sacrificed in the conquest. How is this possible? Okay, fine, fair enough. How is this possible? Do you need me to draw it out for you? Because there are a few ways it can happen, and people get confused about these things. First, she lifts her leg above her head. My union with Stratus the Younger. He showed me kindness behind these walls and taught me about Stalwart and the Tears, the culture and heritage that made these people the pride of the realm. He died in the 3rd year of the conquest. The disfavoured spear pinned him to the ground he fought to defend, and he never rose again. The regent remained in Sentinel Stand for her protection. The edict was his responsibility to shoulder, not hers. My daughter will not be another victim of Kairos' conquest. She has the blood of the North coursing through her veins, and no one has the right to take her life. Oh, shooting hell, this is quite the turn up here. How blindly is Calvino willing to press on here? Oh boy. Okay. We're going to see what she proposes. What is the alternative? Amelia? Another way? Demetrius shakes his head in sadness. Amelia turned her back on the Legion. The General has no place for the disloyal, no matter whose blood flows in their veins. All the same, if you can guarantee my daughter's life, I will return to Ash and submit to his judgment, harsh as it will be. But that still leaves us with the matter of the edict. What could we possibly do about the Edict of Storms? Regent blood flows through my daughter's veins. Well, Calvina, racking her brains here, she's the queen of the loophole, isn't she? She's willing to commit to judgment, Do we really need to kill a baby? It's a bit harsh. Abdicate. Yes, abdicate your line. As Regent Mother, you have the authority. You must merely say the words. Oh, quite right. And since the Regent Mother isn't of Stalwart and can't actually sit as Regent, that should, I hope, terminate that line. I ought not to show preference for how this part of the chronicle unfolds, but I'd rather title this chapter Legal Remedy than Infant Regicide, if given the choice. Is it truly as simple as that? A clerical formality to spare an innocent life? If this works, I'll owe you more than I can possibly repay. Here, the edict damaged this trinket, but you might still find it useful. I, Amelia, formally abdicate my daughter's claim to the regency of Stalwart, dissolving all ties, compacts, vassals, and holdings. We forfeit all protections and advantages given by the ancient bloodline. Was that enough? Fool. You ask as if this has ever happened before. The only thing I can guarantee is what happens next if this doesn't work. You feel a familiar sensation, the air growing hot and electric, before suddenly erupting in overwhelming waves of energy. At first, you think the force of arcane power dissipating is enough to carve the skin from your bones, a sensation you attribute to the Edict of Storms, but it cools just as quickly. Ooh! The winds buffeting the keep have abated. Outside, an eerie silence pervades the air, a stillness that hasn't visited Stalwart for a long time. You can hear the very symbols that brought the Edict of Storms into being, each syllable proclaiming itself from a newfound corner of your mind. It would seem the Edict is now a part of you. Thank goodness it worked! You spared my daughter, and here I had come to expect nothing but cruelty from the servants of Kairos. Now we have a chance of what might never have been, a life outside of these walls. My father can be severe and uncompromising, but I'll return to Iron Hearth and his protection, at least while the conflict persists. Hopefully he isn't so consumed by war that I can't still appeal to him as a man and father. I always appreciated them more than the Archon. I regret none of the decisions I made to get here. We'll disagree on that much, but my daughter will be safe. The stalemate between the Unbroken and the Disfavoured is at an end. Victory that can't be measured in rings. Thank you, Fatebinder. I'll remain at Sentinel Stand to secure this location and send word to Ash of your excellent work. Lantry Loyalty. Wheel of Ages. Wow, we've got a massive loyalty boost there. Elated by my intellectual ways, and we have ended the Edict of Storms. A slowing aura around the party. Foes within the range of the aura are slowed. Interesting. Okay, holy cow. So return to Sentinel Stand to speak with Graven Ash. I think we better do that pretty much sooner rather than later, to be honest. Let's just quickly check out this here. So baby's crib, baby's still alive.
Might we not simply break it?
Some trinkets, some gems. Okay, so we have ended the edict, which is what we set out to do. So where do we go from here? Now this is going to be very interesting. The keep is safe in our hands. Repairs are already underway. Ash will want to hear about what we've accomplished here. I'll hang back and oversee repairs of the defences. Alright. I'm assuming we've checked these out and we couldn't get them because they were... yeah. Camping supplies. Oh, a peridot. We missed that one. Okay, so back to old Ash. Let's see what he has to say about these developments. Doesn't appear to be, but I'm sure she must have checked in by now. The great keep of Sentinel Stand is ours. Oh, how I will relish tearing down every vestige of the unbroken and burying the standard of that corrupt realm. This is a great victory for the disfavoured. What's more, we are delivered from the Edict of Storms. My runners speak of you in glowing terms, though I instructed them specifically not to report on your deeds in too much detail. I wanted to hear it from no one but the source. I would know more about how it felt to stand in the centre of the storm as the Overlord's magic dissolved around you. You must be wary from your travels. I am eager to hear your account, but I will understand if you still need to gather your thoughts. This is a joyous day, and I wouldn't spoil it with impatience. Okay, let's cut to the chase here. We're not here to regale him with a retelling of our deeds here. There is something that needs to be discussed as a matter of urgency. Shall we start, she says, with Emilia? You have seen her restored to my keeping. She is safe in Ironhearth, and in spite of myself I am pleased to have her home. She has taken to her quarters, and speaks not of what transpired during her long imprisonment. I have instructed her to guard to offer space to rest and regain her strength, but so far she keeps to herself. She has not sought her father's counsel either. Say what you would then. I take it you have not spoken to her? Naught but a short greeting. She took her meagre belongings and fled to the castle with instruction that she not be disturbed. She looked well enough, her armour was in decent repair, and she only had a bundle of clothes salvaged from the keep. Later she summoned a trusted camp healer, who reported her condition as fair. I cannot... No. The very idea repulses me beyond all measure. And you, Fatebinder, if you would bring slander and atrocity to this fort, that I will instruct Tunan to strike your head from your lawful neck. Do you hear me? What the hell? He cuts off his speech and holds his rigid posture. Throughout the prolonged silence, you aren't sure if he plans on swinging his mace in a wide arc or simply exploding from the tension he fights to repress. A vein rises along the crest of his scalp and slowly recedes as Ash calms his breathing. He's lying. She's told him everything. I'm just going to back away and let you handle this one. Don't mind me. Speak no more of these lies. I won't have them poisoning the air of Ironhearth and the ears of my fellow countrymen. You are a fool if you'd think I believe such an obvious ruse. What? She didn't say anything at all about her situation? He holds your gaze with flat, even focus. Ash takes a deep breath through his nose, filling his lungs and swelling his chest until he has expanded significantly in your vision. When he releases the breath, it comes out deflated and resigned. It's amazing to me how long it takes some people to get to the hint. Get the hint. Don't mind me, I'll just sit back and watch this all play out. By the Overlord's mercy. Was there ever a father more blind than me? The bundle, the healer, the sorrowful looks worn by her attending soldiers. His gaze shifts over to one of the windows of his castle, just in time to catch a silhouette stepping back from view. Kairos' flames. But I should hurl her and that accursed creature from the rampart walls. Our family name, the very North, is degraded by her lechery. He grabs at his face and howls into his hands. Ooh. Interesting. So we could take a stand here, but it's not for, well, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, technically speaking, it could be for us to dictate what happens to her to some degree. I mean, we are the extension of Tunan's law, and she has committed treason. We could insist that she be dealt with. But, I mean, we're intrigued as to what stand Ash would want to take on this matter. He's a man of principles. Let's see where. Let's put it on his toes. Where would his principles lie on this little matter? If this wasn't his own daughter, the sucker's head would be already removed from the shoulders, we feel. Would giving her a deserving punishment comfort you? Perhaps, but she is too stubborn to take a lesson from it. If she willingly soiled her womb with the offspring of a southern lordling, then no amount of flogging or degradation could change her heart. The wretched girl is still a member of my legion, but she has broken our bond as surely as if she had killed me. I have lost my daughter, and she must learn to endure a general in her father's place. In spite of my temperament, you have done as I asked. Emilia is returned. The edict is ended. Perhaps I am too quick to blame you for the failings of my once noble house. What is it you require? I return for... Yes, of course. Right. Okay, so now he wants further reports. And obviously he knows these as well. This is a bit of a backwards conversation. Okay, so reporting that, just confirming that Herodin is dead. Not sure exactly what has been reported back by Emilia, I'm supposing. That is gratifying to hear. The coward spent too long crouched behind the walls of Sentinel Stand and deserved none of Kairos' mercy. The Regent family was an inbred and corrupt line of failed rulers. They had neither the courage nor the grit to lead their realm to prosperity, as they demonstrated. Stalwart is much improved by their absence. And of course, the edict has ended. And I have breathed fresh air for the first time since I returned to Iron Hearth. You managed to accomplish what my forces could not. More importantly, you have abated Kairos' anger for the time being. With the great stalemate of the conquest ended, surely we have earned the favour of Tunan and Kairos alike. Every deed you accomplish in the name of the disfavoured proves our right to rule these lands. How did it feel, Fatebinder? I have not had the distinction of breaking an edict, much less several. If it's all the same, I shall keep the feelings on this matter to myself. Indeed. We've been being very careful, taking in what Fatebinder Myothis has told us about the Archons and about, you know, our rise to fame, potentially being an Archon ourselves in our, how we are rising and what we are achieving. Got to be very, very careful. That is your prerogative, though I would caution you against keeping secrets from me. The disfavoured are a family in ways that transcend blood, and much our strength comes from mutual trust. Your actions at Vendrian's Well have caused us all to expect more than you were ever prepared to shoulder as a legal clerk. Living up to our admittedly high expectations will do more than merely get you through this war. There are greater things to come, once the dust settles. Speaking of which, exactly what are our next steps? First things first. My soldiers reported on your activities in the Blade Grave. They saw what happened when you broke the Edict of Storms. The power of this edict flowed through you like the wind. No one could account for it, but I have my suspicions. You are becoming powerful. Perhaps in ways I don't even understand. Yes, well, he's not foolish. Yes, keeping it as vague as possible. Well, something has responded to my activities. That much is clear. An understatement, but I won't hold you accountable for your ignorance in this matter. This is new territory for us all, so it seems prudent to exercise caution. These are tools beyond the ken of people or Archons alike. Take care that you don't overstep your bounds. In Kairos' hierarchy, someone always notices. With that out of the way, let us return to the matter of the war. Our position in the tiers is strengthening by the day, but there is still work to be done. It is time to broaden our scope in this war. There are 2 regions of interest, and either of them would strengthen our hold on the realm. Levian's Crossing is home to merchants and the skilled forge-bound artisans. The Burning Library was home of the all-knowing sages before Kairos reduced it to cinders. Now, they would probably prefer us to go back to Levian's Crossing. However, we personally would prefer to harness the powers of the sages or get some further information. So we're going to head to the Burning Library. Perhaps even there, although it's a bit of a dangerous move to start rifling through forbidden knowledge, but we do seek information on what we're experiencing here. So, proclaiming that we will head there. Good. I understand that the Voices of Narat has dispatched one of his miscreant gangs to comb through the ruins of the library. We cannot allow any privileged knowledge to fall into their hands. That we can both agree on. Kill any of his red-clad degenerates you find, and destroy the library as Kairos intended. There is also said to be a repository of arcane lore in the bowels of the library, the Silent Archive. It must be eliminated to satisfy the terms of Kairos' will. My Scoutmaster Marek was dispatched to observe the Scarlet Chorus, though I haven't heard from him in some time. His last known location was the village of Effigy. The wilderness around the library is plagued with chorus patrols and wildfires that can make routes treacherous at a moment's notice. Marek should be able to assist you in charting a safe course through the wasteland. I instructed Marek to destroy all forbidden lore within the Burning Library given the first available opportunity. The fact that the Edict of Fire persists is cause to assume that he failed. And that is music to our ears. This could be an interesting place for us to go, because by the letter of the law, if we are to uphold the law in its entirety, we should follow through and destroy this forbidden knowledge. If we have an option not to, and perhaps read into or use or gather, procure this forbidden knowledge in the hope of finding out what's going on with us, that might well indicate Calvina's ultimate intentions. So we shall see what happens in the next session, because that will be where we go next. Between then and now, I've got a couple of things to do. I'm going to head back to the Spires, claim all the things that we can claim, and start crafting something for another member of our team, probably Barrick, with there's a shield at least there, I think. Yeah, sell some wares. And then at the start of the next session, we'll be ready to travel to Effigy, en route to the Burning Library. This could be where we get to see Calvina's proper intentions. So join me next time for that. Until then, see you soon.